Hey everyone, welcome back to the Interesting People podcast series with myself, Tina Calder from Excalibur Press. And today I'm absolutely delighted to be welcoming the lovely Karen Walker, who is the founder of Bronze Leaf, which is a tanning brand for salons only. So Bronze Leaf is in 150 salons across Ireland and Northern Ireland, and originally from Dublin. Karen now lives up in Dromore, so we're going to find out a little bit about her, a little bit about the company, and find out why she stays in Northern Ireland. So hello.
Hi Tina, thanks so much for having me.
I hate the intro. I hate doing the intro, but we have to. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you end up in the north, for starters?
Oh,
there's a story.
That's how we're starting. So I was born in Dublin, left Dublin when I was about 7, went to England, and then I've been in Northern Ireland really since I was about 11.
All right, okay.
And then I went back to Dublin and I was in the airlines for a few years, and then I came back home again.
So what did you do in the airlines?
Cabin crew.
Oh, awesome.
A lot of tea or coffee.
I can just see you doing I'm doing the motions, and I can just see, whatever it is, CJ. So what made you, I suppose, come out of that career and set up Bronze Leaf? Or
I've been made redundant 3 times in the airlines, and I thought maybe it's about time. It's like, maybe this isn't going to go the way I need it to go. So I came out of that, and then I started working in sales. I just fell into sales, and I was working for one of the big beauty brands, and then I left there, and I've just always been chasing where I actually fit and belong.
Okay.
And then after working with quite a few, one global brand and the other was soon to be a global brand, I was listening to the salons, and they wanted something that was professional and just for them only, because these are the guys that they study for years. They're still learning. They are like your beauty doctors. You've got a problem, they'll fix it for you.
Yeah.
So I believe that they should have brands that are solely for them.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. They want to make sure that people realise that they're coming for something different, something special.
Yeah.
And that you can't just buy it on the shelf and Boots.
Yes. So after working with a couple of big brands, I was always an agent for Ireland, North and South. So I always took on a brand and kind of put it into the area as like a new kind of territory. Yeah. So I was used to doing that. And then the last company I worked for basically were monkeys, and I was like, oh, maybe if they can do this, I can do this. And not really thinking too much about it. My dad, who was very important to me, he actually gave me a loan, which I never paid back. But he gave me a small loan.
Is that not what daddies are for, though?
Well,
let's be honest.
I don't know. I don't, if we're lucky enough. So then, what happened? So he said, just go and do it for yourself.
So were you, at this time, did you have the idea, there needs to be a salon-only tanning brand? Or was it that you just knew you wanted to do something in the beauty industry?
No, I always, because I've been working with the salons for 10, 15 years.
Right.
So they're always saying, they're professionals. They need brands that, you can't buy on Amazon. Even their skincare brands, it's one of their biggest parts of their business. So if they can't retail those products, then,
right,
why would you take all the information and the experience of your therapist and then go and buy it online?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's not fair on the small businesses. So it's all about me being small and supporting other small businesses.
Yeah.
So that was always my...
you had all the sales knowledge, you had all the contacts. How on earth does somebody just go, I'll make a tan brand, here's an idea. Do you go out and buy ingredients or something? Or
no,
with...
You have to be a chemist for 10 years to be able to put
So you had to source
on.
A chemist then?
Yes,
somewhere.
So a manufacturer. So I went to one of the biggest trade shows there are in Bologna, and I found this guy, and I told him what I wanted, and he was like, we can do that, no problem. And really, Bronze Leaf was born from that moment.
Wow. So you then worked with him on your ingredients and what you wanted. you know, and all of that kind of thing. And so you were able to develop the formula with him, or at least ensure that he had the formula that worked for you.
Yes, so he's in the States, so it makes it very different to what we have here. Like a lot of tans here would be a more watery consistency, whereas bronze leaf is a more concentrated. So it means that there's no overspray with it. There's no, like anybody who gets spray tan, they'll know that sometimes whenever they're getting sprayed, it's like a, you know, starts going down the back of your throat, whereas there's none of that with bronze leaf.
Clearly I don't know what that's like, right? Take one look at this pasty face and it's obvious I have no
where's
clue.
the support, Tina? You should be out there going, I'm a bronze leaf goddess.
It's just not happening.
No, I couldn't.
There's many things I'll do for clients. Getting tanned is not one of them.
Well,
we'll see.
We'll see.
So finally you got the brand. Finally you knew. So then you had to go through a whole, you know, what is my brand, the packaging, and you know. So it must have been a really interesting journey for you to be on at that sort of inception stage.
This is 7.5 years ago. So it's really like 8 years ago from whenever I was like, right, I'm going to go this direction. So I had the solution nailed. And one thing that a lot of companies, they change their solution along the way. They might want to make it more hydrating, different things that will happen. Whereas I've never changed my solution because I believe it is absolutely perfect. So why would you want to change it?
Of course, not broke, don't fix it.
Yes, but it's a beautiful colour. It's hydrating to the skin. It doesn't go off patchy. So it is, you know, it will never change.
Yeah, so you touched lucky when you got the company.
No, I worked hard.
Okay. But seriously though, if people are changing it along the way, is it because they've made the decision too quick? Is it because they haven't tested it with the salons? Is it because they weren't listening to the salons? Is it because they were looking for the money rather than the quality? Like, you know, what were the things that you had to consider?
I can't comment on that. Well, no. I think a lot of... Because, to me, obviously the market's changing all the time. There's new technologies. Like, you now have the clear formulas that people are raving about, or the 60-second tans, or the 10-minute tans, or, you know, all those things. But at the end of the day, to me, they are a tan that still needs to develop on your skin over an 8 to 12 hour period. So, as you say, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So, you know, all these things are coming up, but at the end of the day, they're all tanning your skin.
Yeah.
So the end result is all, I'm tanned now. So how I got there, so how I got there is all just trying to bring in new technologies, but it's actually not changing the fact that it's the DHA that's turning that skin cell brown.
Yes. Okay.
And that's really what it's all about.
And so when you started off the journey, you got your formula, you got your packaging, you got what was the first step? I suppose you already had loads of salons ready and waiting for it.
Well, I forget all the stuff that happened years ago, because it's nearly 8 years ago. But I had, with being kind of self-employed along the way, I had, you know, a nice kind of clientele there, and it was through this other firm that I was working for that I started losing that clientele. And my clients were saying to me, if you bring something out, you know, that's what we want. We want to work with you, that sort of thing.
We like you, we hate your tan.
No,
but if you get another one,
yes,
come back.
Come back.
Yeah.
So there were actually a couple of salons that worked with me along the way.
Oh, wow.
So they were testing it as before even bronze leaf was named.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then they were buying in bronze leaf before it even had a label on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the power of the solution. Like,
and are they still customers?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know.
So they're really vested in it. Vested in it.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's the magic of the brand, is that you have brought your salons along the journey with you.
And yeah.
What I love is talking to you and getting to know a bit more about the business. You have a wonderful relationship with the salons, and that must be difficult to maintain with 150 salons plus prospecting for new ones. How do you not end up strung out somewhere on the motorway, you know, going, oh my God, I can't go.
Oh no, I did do that once with my gallbladder and then I had it removed a few days later. So I have been strung out on the side of the motorway. But it's all about... So the salons that I work with, they're all really busy salons. So they don't want to see me unless, and I don't want to take up their time unless I've got something new to talk to them about or a different angle of how to do tanning business, something like that. So I might only see my salons 3 times a year.
Okay.
For like a quick kind of catch up, you know, this is what's going on. Really, whenever a client's with bronze leaf, they don't have any difficulties. You know, because there's always training. As soon as I bring on a new account, they get training. So everybody knows and they're confident with all the ingredients and the benefits of them on the skin. So from that moment, there's never really any problems along the way.
Yeah.
You know,
so you're painting such a wonderfully rosy picture of entrepreneurship. You know, I woke up one day, I decided I was going to do a tan brand. So I got some money together and I went off to Bologna. I got this guy, got it sorted. I sold it into my salon. Surely it was not that smooth. Or was it? Like, should I be in the tan business is what I'm asking.
Everybody else is.
But seriously, like, what were the challenges along the way, you know?
I think the biggest challenge is 7 or 8 years ago. It's a very different market than we have now.
Yeah.
And I'm not one for, I'm very old school, as Tina knows. And I like my diary. Like somebody mentioned to me something, this thing that can, this
scheduler of some description.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no thanks, I'll have my pen and piece of paper.
To be fair, you know? I still have a paper diary.
But it's like, it's that feeling of, you know, my clients, if I didn't have clients, I wouldn't have a business. So they are an extension of like a colleague to me.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I feel like I'm supporting them by giving them something that's unique and not in the high street, and it's not about online sales, it's about them, and they're the ones at the end of the day that are promoting it. So they're the ones that should be able to get the, you know, retail sales as well for it, instead of whenever you go into Boots and you get a third off. You're done. Do you know what I mean? So it's trying to create loyalty. Like years ago, there used to be loyalty with people's salons, and it's trying to get that back.
Bring back the magic.
Yeah.
So along the way, like, what would you say has been the hardest part of the journey?
Trying to get my message across that it is, like, it's a boutique brand. It is a small, we care about your tanning business. It depends on your area, but we don't saturate the area. You know, it's all about having this niche little family of salons that all use bronze leaf.
And as an entrepreneur, what has been the hardest part?
Working alone. I hate it.
Yeah.
I really do hate it. Oh, and then also the finance side. Really not good at that either.
But then entrepreneurs always have a part of the business that they're rubbish at. Like mine is finance. Had to get my best friend in. She had to like overhaul the entire business. I hope she doesn't mind me saying, you know, because I had just made such a bloody mess of it, you know. But I think that every entrepreneur has that one element of the business that's just completely alien to them.
Oh yeah, no, I've got loads. The only one that's not is the sales side.
You know, but that's the bit that most people can't get right, is the sales.
But it's not about the sales. Like I love the public. I was an air hostess because I wanted to see 1,000 people a day. I had four flights back and forth. Like,
and now, how many people do you see a day?
Sometimes none. My husband, and that's really not always the face you want to see at the end of the day. Sorry, Ian. Sorry.
Period.
I know. So, you know, the difference of it, but that's why I have you, Tina, to keep me right on this ever-changing marketing world that we live in with all these different platforms. Whereas I am a person that my mood will change if I go to a coffee shop, walking down the street, and I'm like maybe somebody catching an eye, somebody going, morning. That is what actually changes my mood.
Okay.
And that is, like, I know every single one of my salons. I know everybody that works there. Do you know what I mean? It's not about online sales and just, it's coming in.
Yeah.
It's like the reason why I've chosen to do it this way is because I want it to be personal.
Yes.
But I want it to be also the best that they can use.
And
I
that
really
must be
believe
exhausting, though, for you having to keep up with